Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into the North Main Minute. I'm Joshua Dobie. A very common question that we have as part of our financial planning process and portfolio structure and management process here at North Main Financial Group is, how can I limit or reduce my taxable exposure? Now, first I have to say, everybody's situation is different. Everybody owns different things, is involved in different things from a financial standpoint. So what I'm going to talk about here doesn't necessarily apply to everybody. It may or may not apply to you, but just some broad general topics that you want to keep in mind. First thing that you may want to consider is to own what we sometimes call at North Main Financial some tax-friendly investments. Now, what does that mean? A lot of different things that you can plug into that category. Most often we think about perhaps municipal bonds. Sometimes we think about individual securities or ETFs, exchange traded funds, which distribute very little to you from a dividend or capital gain standpoint. That can be something to consider. Real estate is another item that sometimes folks want to consider as far as being tax friendly in terms of the tax impact on their overall tax scenario. So those are just some of the things to keep in mind. Again, everybody's situation is unique. You want to make sure to take a look at your specific situation. Second thing that we recommend to folks, and this is something that we talk about a lot here at North Main Financial Group, and that is managing your tax situation throughout the year. Meaning that if you have possibilities to offset some gains with some losses, make sure you're paying attention to that throughout the year so that if you can reduce some tax impact based upon things where you may have some gains by offsetting them with some losses, that will be beneficial for you as far as tax filing for the following year, the following April, if you will. So definitely something strategically that you want to keep in mind, or that you may want to have your professional keep in mind, and that leads me to the third point. We're biased here at North Main Financial Group, certainly when it comes to this, but we strongly encourage folks, if you are desiring to manage your tax space in more comprehensive kinds of ways, engage a professional, engage a tax professional, a CPA, somebody who's doing this kind of thing all the time. They may bring some things to you that maybe you just weren't considering before, especially if you own a small business or you own real estate. They may be able to point you in specific directions for things that maybe weren't part of the tax code last year or a couple years ago, but are now, or some things that may have been in place before, which aren't anymore. Very, very helpful in that regard, and again, can often provide a real value for you when you're looking at managing your tax exposure. If you'd like to reach out to us at North Main Financial Group to take a look at your overall tax base, we're not CPAs, we're not accountants, but we're dealing with tax issues all the time, or perhaps to coordinate with your tax professional to see how you might be more tax efficient in what you do. Love to hear from you, northmainfinancial.com.